I can't believe it. I can't fucking believe it. I didn't want to believe it, but goddamn it looks serious. Skip Bayless, the man most commonly known for being LeBron James's biggest hater, has just been sued for sexual assault by a hairstylist named Noushin Faraji in a 42-page lawsuit.
A hairstylist who worked for Fox claims former Fox Sports host Skip Bayless made repeated unwanted advances towards her. She also accuses Bayless of offering her more than $1 million for sex. The plaintiff's attorneys are seeking unspecified damages from Bayless, Fox Sports, and its parent company, Fox Corporation. The complaint also claims Fox executives fostered a hostile work environment that allowed senior management and on-air personalities to abuse workers without fear of punishment.
Now, if you don't know who Skip Bayless is, he's an American television personality and is like the final boss of sports commentary villains. He has a contract with Fox, which is reportedly worth $32 million. And keep this in mind, because we're gonna talk about his wealth later. He was on First Take with Steven Smith, which he left in 2016, and in a show with Shannon Sharpe called Skip and Shannon Undisputed. And if you don't know who Shannon Sharpe is, let me tell you who he is with the clip explaining that in detail.
There you go, baby. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. That's my Michelle.
Alright, that's enough of that. He's known for having controversial statements, and he's even prone to getting into arguments easily, which is a big reason as to why his show with Shannon Sharpe ended last year, because there was a rift between Sharpe and Bayless after the two got into a heated exchange during a Tom Brady debate that turned personal when Bayless took a shot at Sharpe's NFL career.
This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
That's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got three Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what did I got to see what you do? You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
Now, as I said before, Skip Bayless has been accused of sexually harassing a hairstylist named Faraji. And before I go further on Skip Bayless, he's not the only one being listed as a defendant in the lawsuit. Other names are Charlie Dixon and Joy Taylor. Now, if you don't know who Joy Taylor is, she's a host, news anchor, and was a moderator on the Skip and Shannon show. In 2012, she was a bartender and a small-time radio host looking to break into the entertainment industry. And Faraji claimed that she accomplished this by essentially sleeping her way to the top. Now, the story goes like this. She became close friends with Faraji, and Faraji even became her permanent hairstylist. They would often go to dinner together, and someone who was always present at these dinners was a man named Charlie Dixon, who she later found out is the executive vice president of content for Fox Sports 1 and oversees content and production for the network. Now, it was obvious to Faraji that Joy Taylor and Dixon were sleeping together, despite both of them being married, and she even warned Taylor that this could lead to a bad situation, but Joy didn't really give a shit. Now, later in 2016 was where the Skip and Shannon show debuted, and even though she had little to no experience, guess who they chose as the moderator? And obviously there were other women more qualified than her for the job, but since she was sleeping with someone so high up in the company, it was a piece of cake for her to get the role, and Faraji felt the same way. In the lawsuit, she states that in 2017, Dixon approached her while drinking heavily, placed his arm on her lower back, and began to touch her inappropriately. Feeling uncomfortable, Faraji said that she had to take a call and managed to escape the situation. When she confided in Joy about the incident, Joy told her that Mr. Dixon could take both of their jobs away. So Miss Faraji chose to remain quiet because she wanted to keep her job as a single mother who needed the income. Miss Faraji felt that she had no choice but to remain silent. She also claims that Joy Taylor continued to use her sexuality to advance her status in the company, because later on, when Faraji was meeting Taylor for dinner, she noticed that instead of Dixon, this time it was another guy named Emmanuel Acho, who was a former football player turned commentator. And the reason why she was in a relationship with him was because he had the power to land her a job on the show. Speak for yourself. Faraji warned Taylor not to sleep with Dixon and Acho at the same time, as she'd pretty much be fucked if Dixon were to find out. But Joy told her not to worry about it. And once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. So she was really about to falsely accuse Dixon if he found out about her other relationship. That was her backup plan. Like, bro, that is scary as f***. Imagine being accused of sexual assault for something you didn't do. Now this is where Skip Bayless comes into the picture. In addition to doing hair for Taylor, she was also required to give haircuts to Bayless once a week. She claims that's when he started finding excuses to touch her and sexually harass her. He then started being more aggressive and direct in his advances. Ms. Faraji continuously declined, stating that she did not date at work as she is a single mom. She also said that Skip offered her $1.5 million fucking dollars for sex after she told him that she might have cancer. Now this is where the situation is a little iffy and is leaving a lot of people on the internet confused, because it would have made sense if she rejected like $10,000 or something, but $1.5 million fucking dollars? That could pretty much fix all of her problems. No one in their right mind is rejecting that much money. Shit, if you offered me $100,000, I'm sucking it and I'm being dead serious. But at the end of the day, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, because she's probably not shameless like me. The sexual harassment continued and Skip Bayless even accused Faraji of having a relationship with Shannon Sharpe, which Faraji denied, saying that she was nice to all of the people on the show. At this point, the sexual harassment just kept on going until Skip Bayless eventually left the show due to the argument with Shannon Sharpe. And with him leaving the show, that meant that Faraji had to go as well, because several days after Skip left, Fox told her that they could only afford one hairdresser to work on their 3 ongoing shows: a new morning show, Speak, and Undisputed. And that was pretty much bullshit, because it doesn't take a genius to know that Fox could easily afford more than one hairdresser. Faraji's attorneys say in the complaint that Fox systematically reduced her work schedule and ultimately terminated her employment by removing her from the schedule entirely, using fabricated business necessities as a pretext. Now Skip is still tweeting like nothing has happened since the lawsuit was filed, and the fact that he isn't replying to the allegations is, kind of suspicious. But the funny part is, it's not even Skip who's the main attraction here. It's Joy Taylor, because the whole time, she had a husband who she was cheating on by sleeping her way to the top, and the whole time she was her telling people that if they wanted to get where she was, all they needed to do was work harder.
Wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you gotta do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that's just gonna make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average, I couldn't be okay, I couldn't be late, I couldn't complain, I couldn't say no.
So that was a fucking lie.
There's way too many talented women out here with great insights, but we all know that the sleeping to the top narrative will be even crazier now, because she just set women back 20 years. Anyway, that's about all I have to cover on this situation. Fox News released a statement saying they take the situation very seriously and have no further comments, but I think they're just trying to buy time to think of an excuse to save face and defend their toxic work environment. Subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next one.